welcome back to the Mafuba Jar, where you've been sealed away for another amazing video. And today, I'm going to be going over with you guys the new promo cards that we can get in the Series 3 Tournament Pack that the scans have just been officially released a few days ago. I know they've been out online and on several Facebook pages for at least a few weeks now, but I think it was only very recently that Dragon Ball Super, the card game, the website itself actually added them on here. So there's about 8 of them that we're going to be going over today, and a lot of them are very interesting. And I started off here as the first card among the list, and it's going to be Vegeta Powerful as Ever. Now, it's a red Vegeta, but it's Vegeta GT, not regular Vegeta. So there's no evolving with our Vegeta cards from this, so sorry about that. I know it's kind of unfortunate. And it's a pretty simple effect. It's always when this card KOs an opponent's battle card, deal 1 damage to their life. So it's almost like a budget version of the Miraculous Comeback Gohan, but it doesn't do 2 life to your opponent, but you can play it for 3 energy, and it is 1500 attack, so it can knock out some things there. It's not terrible, but I still feel Gohan's a million times better because you just reduce your hand size, you can play that Gohan for 2 energy and still have a much better attack. Double strike, higher power, and still be able to deal 2 damage to your opponent, but Gohan's doing a little bit of fluctuating in price right now, so I don't know. It really all depends. If this ends up being a super cheap Tournament Pack 3 promo, then I'd say use this over the Gohan just to help your wallet, but it's from a Tournament Pack, so I can't really say how cheap it'll be. But again, we will see when this actually releases. Again, it's not terrible, I'll say that. Definitely not terrible. Alright, next up here we have Baby Dawn of Vengeance, our first baby card into the game. Same energy requirements as Vegeta, and same amount of power too, go figure. But its auto is a lot more interesting. When you play this card, if your leader is a machine mutant, so for now, Dr. Mew, I think it is? Yeah, Dr. Mew. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards. It loses 15,000 power for the duration of a turn, and if that card's power falls to 0, it is knocked out. And especially early game, a lot of the battle cards your opponent's going to be playing is going to be 15,000 or less. So this can really help get rid of some cards early game. So really, really good. And definitely works very well in the Machine Mutant deck, going with the theme of reducing your opponent's battle card's power. So definitely pretty good, if that's the kind of deck you want to build. I'll be honest, after seeing this, I'm slightly more interested in the deck now. But it's really only because of this that made me personally interested. I'm not saying machine mutants are bad in any way. I'm just giving my personal opinion. Alright. Now, again, talk about personal opinion. This, to me, is the most interesting card out of all the tournament promo packs. And that's going to be Kalo-ken Son Goku. I personally feel we should have gotten this card a long time ago. Like, as soon as Set 1 released. Because Set 1 was all about the Universe 6 tournament, and that's the first time we saw Kalo-ken Super Saiyan Blue Son Goku, so I feel we should have gotten a card like this back then, but better late than never. So it's an EX Evolve card. You don't have to pay any energy to play it, but you only place 1 card from your hand to the drop area. But you have to put it on top of a Son Goku with an energy cost of 7 or more, which is a little bit tricky, because the only 2 Son Goku cards currently that would be worth that, well, worth you playing in the first place, in my opinion, is either the Godbreak Son Goku or the new Ultra Instinct Son Goku. And you really don't want to evolve on top of any of those unless you're in an interesting spot. And like I said, guys, this whole card is very interesting. So it's 35,000 power and double strike. It's pretty good. And its auto is when a card evolves into this card for the duration of the turn, you cannot lose the game and your opponent cannot win the game. So what I'm gathering from that means that if, say, you deck out, you can't lose that turn. Because for Dragon Ball Super, unlike a lot of card games, when you deck out, you lose immediately. So, for that turn, even if you decked out, you wouldn't lose. And also, when your life goes to 0, you still would not lose that turn. In which that really corresponds with its Activate main. You choose 2 cards in your life, add them to your hand, then you switch this card to active mode. And notice how that's not once per turn. So, I see it as kind of a last resort card to just keep hitting your opponent with double strike until they eventually just lose there. Because honestly, that really goes with the card very well because Kalo-ken Super Saiyan Blue in general in the anime has always been like a last-ditch effort thing. And that's what this card is. It's a very last-ditch effort. Especially with that energy cost of 7 or more you have to evolve on top of. Because you have God Break or Ultra Instinct out and you're still not winning, then that's a pretty bad spot you're in. So, again, a very interesting card. I don't think it's going to see too much play, but I definitely see it as maybe a 2-of in Goku decks or definitely a sideboard card. If nothing else, I'm definitely going to be trying out this card. Because like I said, I think this is by far the most interesting one that we've gotten so far. I just really like that artwork. Look at that artwork, guys. It's Kalo-ken Super Saiyan Blue Kamehameha. Like, they got the whole trinity there. Alright. Next up here is probably the most hyped tournament promo, and that's going to be Endless Evolution Broly. Now, it's a 3-drop, 2 green, 15,000 power, not terrible, and its permanent is, when evolving this card into a Broly from your hand, the evolved card is decreased by 2 green energy. So it gives you an example right here of a cost of 3 green and 1 of any other color can be paid as 1 green and 1 of any color. So it reduces it by 2 specific green cost. So you can evolve the 6-drop Broly for only 4 energy. And there's also the tournament Broly that you could evolve for just 1 energy. Like the tournament pack Broly from set 1. Not set 1, like tournament series 1. There we go. So you can evolve into that one for just 1 energy, and that's really, really good. This definitely brings back a huge spark to Broly decks, I will definitely say. And its auto is pretty cool too. When you play this card, your opponent chooses one of their battle cards and KOs it. So I'm not sure if this gets around barrier or not. It might, because you're not the one choosing, your opponent is. So that's interesting. I'm not, like I said, I'm not entirely sure on that ruling yet, whether or not that's affected by barrier, but I'm pretty sure that Bandai will release a ruling on that soon. Like I said, I'm a little iffy about it, because even though barrier protects your stuff from skills, you're technically not the one picking, your opponent is, so that's definitely interesting. Alright, next up here is Perfect Support Bulma. There's not really too much to say about this card. It's meh. Like, not great, but I wouldn't exactly call it awful either. So, it's just a 1-drop, and its auto is when you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less and switch it to rest mode. Again, the effect is kind of very underwhelming. But this does have some synergy with the yellow Dragon Ball Saiyan decks coming out. Especially with the Kid Goku leader being able to search this out. And again, it's only a 1-drop, so it's not like you're really sacrificing much to play this card. And I believe there are some yellow cards in this new set that can knock out battle cards in rest mode. So I guess this does have some synergy with that. Again, it's nothing fantastic, but I wouldn't exactly say this is terrible either. Mainly because you're only really paying 1 energy to activate this. So, alright, next up here we have Bardoek, Will of Iron. Now, it is a 4-drop of Bardoek as the Great Ape. And pretty standard stuff. It's double strike and it's blocker. I think it's pretty interesting. A lot of the apes here have double strike and blocker, or critical and blocker. And its auto is during your turn at the end of the battle. After you come up with this card, choose up to one of your Bardoek and evolve it into this card. And I think a bunch of the other, not all of them, but a good amount of the other Great Apes have a similar auto like that too. When you combo them, you could evolve into them, which I think is pretty cool because it gives you a much more energy efficient way to evolve in them, even though they're going in rest mode. So it's still a way to save energy very, very well. I don't think it's terrible, but like I said with some of the other ones, we'll see what happens once Set 3 releases and these cards become more and more available. Alright, now we're going to get into some of the black cards, and the first one is going to be Scientist Fu. Now, it is a 7-drop or Overwhelm 7, and you pay 1 energy, and it has double strike, and when you play this card using Overwhelm, draw 2 cards. So, essentially, you're paying 1 energy, banishing away 7 cards to draw 2 cards. So, pretty good for the black Overwhelm decks, I would definitely say. Because always drawing cards is always good. Not to mention double strike that you're really only paying 1 energy for. It's really not bad. Like, I'm not really stressing the Overwhelm 7 too much because we're getting a lot of leaders in this next set that mill cards from your deck. So getting 7 in there is not exactly going to be hard. So I definitely see this being played in the Black Bardoek, the Trunks Protector of Time leader. I think that's his name. I keep wanting to say Future Trunks, but I gotta get myself into the habit that Future Trunks and Xeno Trunks are not the same in the card game. So that's gonna take me a little bit to get used to. Alright. And what I believe is the final one. Yes, it is, because after that one is just Mira. And that's when we get to the Dash Pack, which I already went through in our Set 3 review. And this is another pretty interesting one too. Increasing Evil Frieza. You Xeno Evolve this with Frieza by paying 6 energy and setting the specified card from your battle area to your warp. So you send a Frieza to your warp to play this guy here. And that's Triple Strike with 25,000 power. That's pretty decent. And its auto is when a card evolves into this card, randomly choose up to 2 cards from your opponent's hand and reveal them. If the revealed cards are battle cards, play them. All of your skills are negated. And if they are extra cards, you place them in a drop area. Now, a lot of debate has been going on with this card. I'm not sure if any questions have been answered yet as to whether or not those battle cards get played on your side or your opponent's side, because it doesn't specify at all. So that's why I say it's interesting. There's a lot of debate going on right now. And again, I haven't seen for sure if anyone's found any official rulings on this yet. I certainly haven't seen any on the official website at time of recording, but hopefully that changes very soon, because that definitely affects the playability of this card. Like, if it does really get those 2 cards to your side, then that's amazing. And if it gets it to your opponent's side, like, even if the skills are negated, that doesn't seem like a very advantageous card, because yeah, the skills are negated, but at the same time you're still giving your opponent 2 battle cards. You're not even putting them in rest mode either. They just go inactive. So I'm gonna lean slightly more towards the fact that you bring them to your side, mainly because since you do need a Frieza, and Frieza decks are not known for accelerating energy, this would take a while to bring out for that. And yeah, like I said, if I'm paying 6 energy and sending a Frieza to my warp for that, I don't want to give my opponent 2 battle cards, even if the skills are negated. So I'm gonna lean more towards they get put on your side, but I can't say anything entirely for sure until we get our questions answered with that, which hopefully will be soon, because Set 3 is literally just around the corner with just a few days actually. So Set 3 is coming out very soon, and I'm pretty sure in the next few tournaments coming up are going to start having these tournament Set 3 packs out. So definitely go to your locals and see if they have these stocked up already. And hopefully the ruling is what I said, that you get to play the battle cards on your side, but we'll wait and see. So if you guys like this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And you have now been released.